Amazing viewers, you're welcome. This is Talk Tech, a program designed to bring you a step closer to women making waves in the tech world. And at this Talk Tech, we advocate, inform, and educate. Not only that, we bring perspectives to issues that affect women in tech and innovation, from the studio to you. I am your host, Favour Adeboye, and today we'll be exploring an often ignored issue: harassment of women online. Over the weeks, we've had interesting conversations about gender-based violence and even spoke about innovative ways to mitigate this social venom. But today, we'll be exploring the same harassment but in the online space. We're going to a quick break now. When we return, we'll delve straight into the topic today and move to meeting our guests. I'm glad you're still here with us. This is Dr. And like I said earlier, we'll be exploring ways to tackle harassment of women online. So what exactly is online harassment? According to an article currently in Durham University, it entails the use of information and comms technology by a person or a group to repeatedly cause harm to another person. This may involve threats, embarrassment, or even humiliation in an online setting. Now, these settings do vary, but the most common one is social media, like you always know. The oath-rolling, harassing, and even bullying of people online, particularly women. There is a popular saying that says, I'll paraphrase it, social media users often hide behind a keyboard to cause havoc online. Now that is our focus for today. Before we dive right in, I have an amazing honorable woman in the studio today. She is a gender expert and a pro advocate who is renowned for championing inclusion in all walks of life. And like I love to say, in keeping things equal. So, Honorable Olufunke Elizabeth Abasojaye, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Favour. How are you doing?
It's nice to meet you. I'm good.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I like the way you arranged your name. Olufunke Elizabeth Abasojaye. Like, that's unique.
Thank you.
And I must comment, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you here once again.
And you too. Thank you.
Yeah, so basically, this issue of online harassment has been going on and on for years, even decades, because usually that's been in space for decades right now. So, in Africa, and even not in Africa, abroad, in Europe and other continents, the harassment of a thing is really harmful. But when it comes to the recurrency, online is way more harmful and is way more common than physical harassment when it comes to women gender issues.
Okay.
Now, basically, women are mostly involved in this attack. And social media has a way of protecting these trollers. I can't even know who is behind the keyboard. You don't know if it's a guy, if it's a woman, if it's a trans. You can't even know who is behind the keyboard. But now, it's hard to tell who is involved in the attack. But we can always say that women are mostly involved, are the receivers of the attack based on stats and facts online. But right now, should I say women again? Because when it comes to physical violence and harassment, is women. Online to women. Like, where are we always at this whole thing of, harassment, attack? Why are we always at the receiving end? Why do you think that is like that?
We are like that because this is Africa, and people believe that women are weaker vessel. Look at what's going on, what's happening now at the Senate. So people feel that women cannot speak
for themselves.
And
okay, basically, this is not an African issue.
Okay.
I track reports in Asia, America, other continents too, even in Africa. it's mostly women.
Okay,
Why?
so
Why?
this
Why women?
issue is actually a global issue, but it's more pertinent
To African women.
to African women,
Okay.
and that's because of the way the whole thing is. You know, like I said earlier, women are being referred to as a weaker vessel. Women have been discriminated everywhere,
Okay.
in every spheres, in education, in anywhere. So I think it's that way because of people see us as
The
an
conception of
exactly,
women are
and people see women
vulnerable
as being, inferior to the other
gender.
gender. So
Okay. Now, one more thing. Do you think these two forms of harassment, physical and online, has a common reason, like a common cause?
pardon?
Do you think these forms of harassment,
Okay.
online and physical harassment, do they have a common cause?
Um, for me, I don't think no, they don't have, because it's more common online than
Than
the
physical.
exactly. So
But what causes, no, when it comes to physical violence, it'll be like, okay, my women are the weaker vessel, so they're easily picked upon, easily bullied, easily harassed.
okay.
But online, women also have access to keyboard. But why
Okay.
are they always picked upon to online? Is it because of this same issue of weaker vessel, vulnerability, and all of that? Or there's a different reason why online is more common than physical harassment?
Okay, so I think online is more common because there is nothing like the control. There's no effective control mechanism online, and
Okay.
online people can just come out anywhere and just write anything. Like I can decide to just impersonate someone else, and there are a lot of people online that are not even using their main I
Accounts.
can throw you online, I can bully you without even being recognized. So because
Okay.
online has a way of even covering perpetrators.
Yeah, they
So I
protect
feel
them. I don't understand why.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I feel this is why it's more
Common
common online.
online.
Like
Okay.
now physically, it's not as if gender-based violence, harassment, trolling doesn't happen physically. It happens. But the thing is, you can actually arrest perpetrator. You can deal with them, unlike the
Online, before
online
you
space.
identify themselves, go on like
Exactly.
dickheads.
Yes.
So basically, right, based on this level of harassment,
Okay.
you said for physical, it's because of the vulnerability, the old ideology of women are weak and all of that. But online is because they can't identify who these attackers are.
Exactly.
Now, do you think there is any way we can put that into place? Because on Twitter, on Twitter, before you go on Twitter, you see different savage response. Like they're all out there on Twitter.
Exactly. And if you check perpetrators online, especially on Twitter, check their accounts. There's no how you can trace them. So
Most
and
likely.
this thing is really common because, like I said the other time, there's no effective control mechanism. So I think the okay Twitter.
Social
Oh,
media platforms,
yes,
basically,
the people in charge of Twitter.
they do not really have quality control to,
So they
protect.
have more responsibility to control it. Like, okay, in a situation whereby maybe some bully me online, throw me or something, I can actually report to
Yeah, those are in place now, I
exactly.
believe. But
Then
how much do they
immediately
do that?
they can. Well, I think they are trying, but they've not really reached
That level
the
of we can commend them that, oh yeah,
exactly.
well
So
done,
it's
you're
not
doing a
really
lot.
effective. Do you get? So we want a station whereby it will be more effective if anybody says anything online to the women folks. So we want a station whereby when we report immediately, then immediate action will be taken. Yeah.
Okay, now that's nice. Now one more thing, right? We already had issues. The common cause of physical and online harassment. For physical is vulnerability and the whole ideology. For online is sort of the whole protection mechanism, which the media has to give to these perpetrators.
Yeah.
Now, basically, as an expert who has traveled far and wide, you've gone to different African countries and other countries, even outside of Africa. Now, I believe you've studied this trend in these countries for
Okay.
gender harassment. Do you think it's common all around?
Okay. So if at the onset of my conversation, I said it is more pertinent
In Africa.
in Africa.
But is the trend common? Like, is there a particular reason that is common? in all these countries. So, for example, in Africa now, the issue is ideology, vulnerability.
Okay.
In Europe, is it the same thing? In Asia, is it the same thing? Or there are different causes to these issues?
No, okay. So in China, for instance, you know, their online the
Censorship in
website is being
place?
controlled actually. The government monitor their, even in the US, like there was a particular time I was chatting with somebody in the US and he said something that even the government of the US, there's a way they monitor their activities online and all of that. So what I would say is not common in outside the country. It's not common in the Western world, yes, than it is in
Africa.
In Africa. Yes, and that's because in Africa we believe that if you do anything, you can get away with it. You can say anything and get away with it, right? But over there, yeah, there's a
censorship in place.
Exactly.
That you have to
every
single thing they say and
bully
do.
anybody anyhow. You can't just troll anybody anyhow. Yeah.
So. Okay, now I like that response you gave, that the government has mechanisms in place to stop this trolling online, which I believe can also be done in Africa. We can replicate that same thing in Africa, initiative to curb this troll or trolling thing and all of that. Now, you said these people can all be identified. That doesn't mean reason people like give them power that I can do as I like. Nobody can even come and see me. That's how you will see. I don't want to use common person. But you see a die-hard fan of a celebrity in Nigeria go online and troll a celebrity. But if they see them in person, they will doing that, online, and they can say anything, do anything and all of that. Now, this old trolling of a thing, now back to women. Let's put celebrity word aside because that own is like a little different convo on its own. Now, back to women. Do you think they're on the receiving end the most?
Yes.
Do you think that equality has anything to do with the way women have been attacked constantly online? Because compared to me, women are getting attacked online now. That's how you see a man do something that is being what is obviously was being criticized. But Nigerians will praise the person, Africans will be like, yeah, you're a man. But if a woman does the same, she's on fire already.
And that's because of the, I'll say, enmity against women. Because if you see most of these men that troll people online, like people that could be identified, because it's not all of them that do hide their personalities, not everyone that...
Some do with their features, like...
Exactly. When you see them, you will know that these are bitter men, right? So they feel that, oh, why should a woman be in tech space when I should be there? So I feel it's as a result of envy, jealousy at times. They feel that, okay, this is a woman that is doing better, she's doing good, she has money than me, and there's this African mentality that, oh, a man should have it all than men. Exactly. So women should not be a CEO, and that's why you see most of this CEO, being trolled, harassed by men persistently.
I believe any woman, kudos to them, that has got to that level in Nigeria and even Africa, they must have built that wall of defense around there, because they would have that ideology that I will be bullied. Let me just go defend myself.
Exactly.
Like, this defense mechanism is always there for women that are at the top. They're always confident, they're always outspoken. That is audacity, like, nothing you do can bring me down. I'm here.
Exactly.
You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm here. But that is for the corporate world. That's for the professional world. But women, either in the tech space, society, any women of all classes get bullied online. I don't want to talk about a celebrity, a certain one a few years ago that was caught up in an immoral act online. I think you should hear about it. You should hear about the story. The male gender, I won't mention the musician's name. The male musician did his own thing the first time. The Nigerians held the guy. They even give him a tag name to celebrate his prowess as a man. Now, a woman mistakenly put ours out there, or she didn't put herself, someone leaked it out there, and she got viral. She lost deals online. Nigerians came for her. She lost opportunities. Even as a model, she lost different endorsements. Now, can we relate this to the societal norm, the cultural belief, the patriarchal norm? Like, can we relate this to it? Because when you harass a woman online, it has gone beyond the physical thing. It's not online. Nigerians, when it comes to words, oh my goodness, I feel Nigerians so... No, honestly. And the way they tackle women online, like, you can see a musician is doing well for herself, dressed in a certain way. Just come for her, even if she's decently dressed. But the fact that her style is not far-fetched, they come at her, such kind of things. But if a man come up with an innovation for style, they say, yo, I like your outfit. But for women, it's not the same. Why?
And that's because, like I said earlier, that's because of the cultural norm. So we still have some men, male folks that believes that, oh, this is my seat, this is my position. So if you these women that are being bullied and harassed online, they are the women that are doing well, right? These are the women that are doing well in their space, right? So I feel that it's because of the jealousy, you know, the feeling that, oh no, a woman should not be in this position. So this is why it's more, you know, pertinent. This is why it's more common, and you see if something happened to if a man comes out here and misbehave, nobody will troll him, nobody will bully him, much as they would do that to
a woman.
To a woman. So they still feel that, oh no, a woman should not be there. A woman should not take this position. She should be at home cooking. She should just be there to be giving birth.
I think we must have grown past that already, because it's not the centuries, the 100 that where we believe that woman should be in the kitchen.
I know.
This is 21st century.
Some men still have that
mentality.
They still think that way. Yeah.
So now, why do you think? Because left to me, right, if anyone asks me questions, I'll tell them, this is 21st century. You should act like it. You should behave like it. You should even think like you are in the 21st century. Don't think like you're in the 80s, bro. You have to act like it. But people that act like the 80s, that's the other mentality of women should be here. What do you think we can do? Because we've been advocating, but it seems they're very stubborn.
Okay, so
what can we do to make things better?
Yeah, I think there's this common women empowerment. Is women empowerment every now and then. It shouldn't just be only women. We should empower men as well. You know, teach them how to behave. I feel there should be sensitization for both, you know, genders, so that you know we would teach them the right way to do. Because the thing is, if you don't teach them, how would they know it? If you don't sensitize them, how would they know the right thing to do? So I feel that instead of focusing more on women to empower them, then if male folks as well should be empowered on how
in what
to.
way can you give us strategies as center expert that you are? You can give us ways we can, because we've been empowering women for years long now, and this has not changed. How can we empower men to begin to think like it's 21st century kid, like
okay, so I think that there's this thing that is so common in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe because of we don't have more, we don't receive more grants or more fund. There should be. It's not something that empowerment or sensitization is not. It's not a one thing.
It's not about money.
Okay, so it's something that you do every time. It should be a constant. There should be a constant sensitization. Not that, okay, you will do sensitization today and the next one is going to be in the next. It's going to be in the next 6 months, or it should be constant, you know, sensitization and all of that. You know, I'm a Christian, and the Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing. So I feel that when you begin to sensitize them every now and then, at least we might not really. We might at least will achieve like 60% of what's. This thing will not totally be eradicated. We understand that, but at least if we keep doing that,
we can eradicate it.
We can eradicate it, but we still have a long way to go. Yeah.
Okay, may I chip in quickly rather? If, for instance, now, okay, think of yourself as a man.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
As gender expert, I know you can switch in genders. You can act like a man, like a woman. You can think like a man, think like a woman as well. Now, put yourself as a man.
Okay.
How will you feel if you see a woman establish an NGO dedicated towards empowering men? How will you take that?
Indifferent, actually.
Indifferent?
Because, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, in what respect?
Of course, if I'm having an NGO that will be empowering women.
No, empower men. Based on the solution you gave.
I understand what you I understand your point. You know, like I said, we would discuss different stuffs. Right, if you want to empower men, the topic will be different from women empowerment program. So I feel that the reason why you are organizing it for men is because you want to shape
the ideology, the mindset.
Exactly, you want to teach them to be a better man. When you see, you want to teach them to be better. When you see a female folks doing something out there, no, we are not taking the seat from you. Do you get? So I feel that conversation is different from the women empowerment conversation. So for me, I won't feel.
You won't feel you'll be indifferent.
Yeah, of course.
Not happy and like indifferent. Like that means you're not happy and you're still happy at the same time. Oh. Okay, now let me give you another instance.
Maybe that's the wrong word anyway.
Okay.
Like for me, I'll feel okay. It's for the betterment of
Like an
everyone
innovation in place to get things equal.
Exactly.
Okay. Now let's bring this down to the grassroots level.
Okay.
As a typical Nigerian man.
Okay.
Typical Nigerian man. Let's put ethnicity aside. Nigerian man, typical one. How do you think they will behave? They will react when a woman comes? Okay, now let me give a more imaginary thing. I go to a village, let's say in the western side or in any village in Nigeria,
Okay.
a stark village,
Okay.
where gender inequalities are the highest peak,
Okay.
right? And I'm a woman. I own an NGO aimed at empowering men, change their ideology, advocacy, capacity building, and create awareness basically. And I go there. How do you think this man will react seeing me and come and empower you as a woman, whereas you don't even see women as something you can even resonate with?
Okay, and that's the play, and that's where the community entry comes in, because you don't just empower women, you don't just empower men or do any advocacy or what's this thing called?
Capacity building.
Yes, without community entry,
The
without
community
prior
leaders and
notice
all of that.
and all of that. So I think there must have been a form of focus group discussion, and they have to be
Okay.
aware. You have to prepare their mind. So you don't just go to a community. And so I think that when you've prepared their mind, right, this will get them ready for whatever
Whatever is
anyone
coming.
wants to
Okay,
do. So
as
the
a
community entry
development
is very,
expert,
very important.
it's important. Okay. As an expert in the development space,
And sorry, and you at times you have to use their
language,
the community entry level. You have to engage their
leaders.
community leaders, the traditional leaders, and so they have a better way of addressing them more. And I'm actually talking this way because we've had something in that area, and the way we entered, Nigerian men are so, if I say notorious now or stubborn, it's so difficult to win their hearts. But then
Yeah.
there's this respect for their traditional ruler. So when you enter the community through their traditional rulers and brief them, so they will even bring them together, and before you know it, you have your way already. Yeah.
Okay, now as a development expert, can you educate our viewers on how this can be done, the step-by-step process, just in a few words?
Okay, wow.
Because I like that point, honest. I like that point. I know someone out there is already has the idea of embarking that kind of initiative. So
Okay.
to make it easy for them, for the prospective change maker, how do you think they can carry this thing out in a simple, just in a simple form?
Okay, well, in a simple form, yeah, it's not that simple anyways, but then if somebody has done it before, so that means there's nothing impossible. We can actually do this. We can achieve our goal. Our aim to make the world a world that is free of gender inequality, a world that is free of harassment is possible. So like I said, there should be something like focus group discussion, community engagements, carry the stakeholders along, the stakeholders in the community. Stakeholders doesn't necessarily mean that the person has to be a government worker or ministry
Just
or
all
anything.
those, ballet, all those
Exactly.
Igwe,
So this
kings.
Igwe, this king, they really have a major role to play. And one thing I discovered that is not, we are not really, some people, we do not feel that these people can do more. They have more to do. These are the people that they will even speak to governors, or we even go to them for, before they can gain entrance
Yeah, for they
in the
can
community.
all of
So we should engage them so that we can have our way. Then any program we want to carry out will be,
be quite easy
yes.
as well. Okay, now one last thing. Let's put this on a clean platter right now to be crystal clear.
Okay.
Over the weeks that I've been talking about gender inequality on this particular program, we've engaged our previous guests.
Okay.
I always ask them a very intriguing question. It may be controversial somehow,
Okay.
but it's intriguing. Now, if things are to be equal, if nature, we always say nature started this inequality by being unequal, by giving men more power than women.
Okay.
If nature were to give both genders equal strength, equal abilities, equal everything and everything in between, what would you picture the world to be like?
And the world would be a better place for people to live in.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain how?
Okay, so no one will. We will all be. So a man is not going to see me as an inferior person, and I'm not going to see him as, I'm not even seeing any woman, any man as being superior anyways.
Okay.
So the world will be a better place for people to live in. There will be peace. There won't be anything like, oh, that seat is meant for a man. That position should be given to a man. No, the Senate president should be a man or something.
So like that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a conversation with a man yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of it, but there was this argument.
Okay.
I've been hearing it before, even in the past. Even when I was in school, I did politics in school.
Okay.
And then there's this belief that men should not hold deputy position. It has to be a woman. Or men cannot be deputy to a woman. They can be deputies to men, but can't be deputies to women. Do you know why? Like, can you tell me why that is like that?
And that's because of the cultural norm. We still believe that, okay, this is the way things are done. That's the way it has been in existence, and we don't want to change the narrative. But I can bet it, we are changing the narrative now. Yeah, so I think something happened during the weekend that everybody was saying a man is going to take the position, but believe me, we had a male contestant and a female contestant, and the female
everything.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Everything. So that means that, okay, we are changing the narrative, and and this has come to
equal.
Yes.
Now that reminds me, one of my guests, Cynthia Bassi, I like to mention an Imra here because she's a very controversial person. She loves to talk about controversial topics. Now she said, when I asked her that same question, she said the world won't be a better place.
Really?
Why? She said, on a normal good day, all things being equal, this life no balance. That was also this life no balance, right? So if men and women are to be given the same opportunity, the same physical strength, that there will be also for power.
Okay.
You know, humans are meant to be humans. They're meant to, compete, fight for power, fight for who is strongest. So she believes that if things are to be equal, the world may mostly be in chaos.
No, the world will not be in chaos. It will be a better place for people to live in. And where is that even coming from? That
No, the belief is that, as Nigerians, we have the belief that this life no balance. Life people believe that life can be balanced. If life is balanced, there won't be need for people to innovate.
Okay.
And truly, if God gave us everything we need, why do we have to innovate? Why do we have to think out of the box to get things right? Why will we feel obliged to make change in our communities? I think I reason with her on that level.
Okay.
Right. But when it comes to physical strength, gender equality, from the very onset, I think inequality comes as a result of social norms, cultural belief, and all of that.
Okay.
But if God has given us equal power and equal strength, and some social norms, do you think they will be in place?
Oh, for me, actually, I feel they will be in place because now looking at countries like Rwanda, I think Switzerland, where we have more women in power and
than men. Rwanda.
Yeah. So, and according to statistics, if we have more women in power, if we have more women in leadership position, there will be rapid development. So, and I still feel that the reason why we are at this level in Nigeria, the reason why we are still underdeveloped is because we don't have space for women. So if we can actually if we can have more women in leadership position, all these leadership position, whether appointive or elective position, Nigeria will develop.
Okay,
Right.
that is on a political level.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to the society, the grassroots level, where the old issue even came from. Because left to me, politics is not... Okay, in Africa, we have politics, but not the Western politics.
Okay.
We have our own politics, the monarchy system, and all of that. Now, if things are to be equal back then in Africa, the societal norms, according to you, will still be in place, right? Why do you think it should still be in place if things have been equal? Because if you ask any man... I've asked many questions even on the show, and they all tell me it's because of cultural norm. They all attribute the same issue. Cultural norm, they've been blaming cultural norm forever. It's like the devil that gets blamed for every single sin we commit. So the cultural norm is like that. So they blame inequality on cultural norm and patriarchal norms, right? Now, when I ask them, where are these norms in place, they'll tell you women are not physically capable It comes to strength.
Okay.
Physical
How?
strength.
Physical strength, like I
Yes,
don't
like the old
understand.
power, man can lift a weight, woman cannot lift a weight.
Oh, really?
That's why they
No,
all they be
no,
like, okay, fine, that's where it comes
no,
from.
I don't believe that.
Don't believe I
I
like
don't
that.
believe that actually.
Now, biology says women are stronger than men biologically in all
Okay.
respect of life.
Okay.
But men always win the case because of I have power more than you.
Okay, so is it that maybe they've not seen a situation whereby a woman and a man they engage in a physical combat and at the end of the day
They do, but it's not
yeah.
common. We both know that it's not common. Like, okay, now even in Nigeria, we
Okay.
have FT. We have women that are FT,
Okay.
but compare them to men that are actually FT.
Okay. I for me, I don't believe that men are more powerful than women when it comes to physical strength, because even for you to carry pregnancy for 9
9
months shows
months.
that
That's a
you are
biological thing.
very
Women are
yeah,
stronger, honestly, in all
exactly,
respects. But
exactly.
then the old ideology of men, God gave power to men from the very onset. That has been the old ideology. They all believe that that's why the old issue came from. Now, if you're blaming it on cultural norms, which also coming from the issue of nature didn't give us equal strength.
Okay.
Now, if nature actually come okay, the second chance for humanity, let's give the both genders equal strength. Do you think this thing will still be in play? And if yes, why?
No, it will not be in place. Actually, it will not
Like
be
you
in
said
place
earlier.
because I will say that okay, women are also angry because I'm hungry.
I
I'm
like
angry
that.
that
Why are you angry?
yes, I'm angry that the okay. So I'm so sorry. I keep talking about politics. I'm so angry because even at the Senate, how many percent of women do we have? Less than I think 5% or something, right? So I'm hungry because it is that way, because I believe that okay, if we have more women at the Senate, that's the seat of power, there will be a lot of policy that will be made in favor of women, right? All these harassments and now talking about, let me narrow it down to this online bullying, trolling, and all of that, is because the women are the receiving end now.
Yeah.
And I believe from the Senate, we can make law that will actually, ensure that the perpetrator doesn't go unpunished. But in a situation whereby we have more
That's
men,
if you can catch those offenders.
exactly. But in a situation whereby we have more men at the Senate, so who is going to initiate this law? Who is going to enact it? So because men are not even being affected psychologically, women are the one at the receiving end, and they are being affected psychologically, mentally. You can't throw me online and I will remain the same. I've been trolled online before, and I was like, this thing is even an online. I'm not seeing this face, but for 3 days I was
You were down
affected.
because
Yes, I
it's
was
it's a
down.
mental issue actually. It's a
Yeah.
mental issue, and I think that's what makes most women to behave certain ways the way they behave, because when you come at a woman online, she was attacked online,
Yeah.
but in person, she already has that mindset. That's trauma is there already, so
Yeah.
she reacts in certain ways. You can't really blame the left to me because they already have, like, when you attack someone, the person can't be the same ever again. Let's be very
Exactly.
sincere. That thing will always be unless the person that just forgive and forget.
Yeah.
But even at that, there is this way the psychology is built that whatever happened in the past might have an effect on you, whether
Yeah.
good or bad. So I believe women act the way they do because of this whole online thing. And you now say you should scrap this whole online engagement thing. I don't doubt it.
No. We can't scrap it actually. But what I'm
Can only
saying
make
is
things better.
there should be effective control mechanism that will ensure that okay, this thing we ought to reduce it, and also perpetrators, because if you bully me online and eventually you didn't get away with it, right, someone else will not do it anymore. Then if it's people that impersonate people that you are not going to recognize, then just block the account.
Okay.
Do you get?
That's on the part of the law.
Or they can limit the
They can mitigate the whole
yeah,
thing.
yes.
But that's on the part of the law.
Okay.
Because even right now, I have different instances in Nigeria.
Okay.
Gender-based violence. I always keep reference to that because in one way or the other, harassment and violence are interrelated, they're intertwined.
Okay.
Do you understand? Now, Nigeria last year, I can count more than 5 cases in Nigeria and more than 10 across Africa.
Okay.
Where women, you know femicide now?
Yeah.
Women are being killed based on gender-based violence.
Mm.
Now, if on this occasion,
Yeah.
the ones that went viral online, the offenders are caught, they were being arrested.
Okay.
Less than 2 weeks, another one happens. Now, if you had to say if they arrest somebody, it won't happen again. Does that really work in Nigeria? Because last year, the Ondo State issue, the guy was arrested this week. 2 weeks later, another guy got another one in Kogi State. Another 5 weeks later, another one in Kwara. So I was like, what's happening? These people have been arrested, but it keeps happening. Is this a matter of the law, or there's another thing we need to tackle?
Yeah, that's really...
It's really controversial, right? Like, it's really, really controversial, because I've been thinking, if they arrest them, it won't happen again. Then, but they keep doing this thing. They arrested these guys, but it keep happening over and over and over again. Is the law has a role to play? Obviously, you can't take them out, never. But I believe, is it advocacy? Because we've been trying. I've been thinking, honestly, the law is trying, advocates are trying. Even completely, everyone is trying, but it keeps happening. It's even getting more worse. Well, what should we look at?
Yeah, so I think the consistent sensitization is very important as well. We should not stop. We should keep doing it. And I think one day we will achieve our goal, and there will be a change in narrative.
That's it. One day, things will get better. That's just it. But the basic thing is that we should not stop. We should not stop what we're doing.
Advocating. We should not stop doing what we are doing. Yeah, we should keep, saying it out there, and
things will get better. Hopefully, by the grace of God, it will get better. And that is a lot already. Thank you, Elizabeth. That was really, really insightful. It's nice to have you in studio again today. And that brings us to a close on this show of Elise Talk Tech. Now, dear viewers, harassment online is very bad to start with, and it has nothing to do with gender. Let's put gender aside. It is totally has nothing, because we can't even point out who the offenders are. So we can't say which gender is committing the offense. But then, as users in the digital space, I believe you have what it takes to cope harassment based on what Honorable Elizabeth have said to us today, based on what she shared. And before we go, Elizabeth, what advice you have for our dear viewers, as receivers of online harassment? How can we make things better in this space? Because most people, once they get harassed online, they return to their shell. They won't want to come online, and some even go offline immediately. There are issues in Nigeria, right, where celebrity will delete their Instagram app, clear all their ID photos because of what Nigerians trolls online are doing to them. Now, how do we make things better? As the receivers of online harassment, how can we ourselves make things better?
Okay, so I think we shouldn't hold to ourselves. We should talk to someone out there, because when you talk to someone, there's a way it makes you feel, better. Don't stop what you are doing. Don't stop advocating, because especially female advocates had been trolled, have been harassed and bullied online. The target is actually at the female advocates, right? So I feel that you should keep doing what you are doing. It shows that you are making an impact, right? Keep doing it. Don't stop what you are doing because you are being bullied online or something. Then talk to someone. There's a way it helps, and
this is therapy.
Exactly.
That's really nice, and that's actually really insightful, because even as a person, I can relate to that. When you talk to someone, there's a way you feel like it's as if getting a load off your chest. It may not solve the issue, but then that's talking is a therapy.
Exactly.
Very sincere.
And moreover, there was a particular time when you throw me online, I will reply immediately. I will also reply, but now I've stopped doing that. So if you like throw
once
me,
you reply, they will come in full force.
So don't just answer them. So it shows that you are doing something great, and they are not happy about it. But you have to keep doing it, because we want to change the world. We want the world to be, a better place. So that shouldn't stop us from doing what we've been doing. Yeah.
But then I want to say something when you were talking earlier. When you said if you don't reply, they will not come for you. This Nigeria. You have because I've seen event scenarios, right? About two celebrities right now. I keep talking about celebrities because they are the ones that we see mostly online. Celebrities and corporate women who are doing good in the all careers of life. Corporate women and celebrities. If we point out civilians, we can't count. There are a lot of them out there. But the ones we see in the news, the issues where celebrities will reply throughs and they will back off this one is not good area. So I believe I'm not encouraging this throwback fire back thing. But I feel like at times because if a bully bullies you today, if you don't fight back, they keep coming. That's just my own ideology. If you don't fight back, they keep coming. So that way I believe that know when to stop.
Yeah, so
That's just it.
I feel it depends actually, because during that time when I was being bullied constantly online, so when I replied, I don't feel
You don't feel happy.
psychologically I'm being affected. But so when I stop it, if you throw, I will not even answer, because there's this another that says silence is the best answer
For a
for a fool.
fool.
So let them keep doing it, and I'll keep doing my stuff.
Advocacy, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And that is a wrap. Now, Elizabeth have given us everything we need to know to get things equal, to mitigate online harassment, and importantly, to get to, eradicate this gender-based violence in all, everything in between, gender equality. Now, to come your way again, this is Talk Tech, and I'm your host, Favour Adeboye. We'll catch you on Friday by 2 p.m. and Sunday by 9 a.m. Bye for now.
Thank you.